Hello, Booktube, and welcome back. While you join me on a hot, nice UK day, the weather is glorious, and I think it's going to be nice over the bank holiday weekend too. So, oh yes, there's going to be many drinks, getting drunk in gardens and in beer gardens down the pub. Oh yes, we are coming. So I was outside before, and I was thinking to myself, what books do I want to reread in the next few months? Because I made a video not so long ago. I think it was yesterday, or it could have been a day before yesterday. It could have been last week. I can't remember. It was a response video to the literate Texan Randy Ray about how you remember things better from a book. Because some people, instantly forget what they've read. Sometimes I do that. And one of my underlying arguments is you reread quite heavily. I'm a big rereader, and that certainly helps my memory of a book. I mean, I can choose any of those Discworld books, drag them down, and talk about the book endlessly. I do love Discworld. I've reread them multiple times. So I'm a big proponent of rereading. So I think since I made that video, the YouTube algorithm, that mysterious mythical beast, started to suggest to me rereading videos, and one of them was Mike from Bibliophile Reads. Hello, Mike. If you've not checked Mike's channel out before, I'll put his whatever it is down there. You know what I'm talking about. The at Mike. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about. So go and check out Mike's channel. He's a good guy. He makes good content. Go and check out what he says about books. But the 5 books that he said, I think the title was called 5 Books I Want to Reread. And the 5 books were, and out of the 5, I've read 3 out of 5 of them. Oh, sorry, no, 2 out of 5 of them. So I've not read The German Lesson, The Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, and A Man After His Own Heart. Not read any of them, so I can't speak of them. But the 2 I have read was 1984. Great little book. Nice book. Nice book. It's not a nice book, is it? It's a dystopian future, Alex. It's not a very nice book, but great read. I do like 1984 by George Orwell. You've not read it, go out there, seek a copy, go and read it. And my favourite book of all time, The Count of Monte Cristo. I love The Count of Monte Cristo. I probably reread it 20 times. I've reread that book. So I love The Count of Monte Cristo. I reread it every year. Love it. Everyone should read it. And then I noticed that Mike was actually making a response video to Patrick book reviews. And I'll link Patrick's thingamajig down below as well. And go and check out Patrick, because I've never seen his channel before, but he looks like he does make good content. I've seen some of his videos now, so I'll link his stuff down below and go and check his stuff out. So I fell into like an oubliette of books to reread. Patrick said that his 5, and again, like Mike, I have read 2 out of 5 of them. So I've not read The Divine Comedy, unfortunately. Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis, not read that. And Shadow and Claw by Gene Wolfe, which is like a weird fantasy-esque, again, dystopian, grimdark series. I've not read it. But the 2 I have read is Don Quixote. Bit indifferent to Don Quixote. Yeah, I'm not pro Don Quixote, not negative Don Quixote. Pretty indifferent. Maybe it deserves another read, but who knows. So yeah, and the other book that I read, which he wants to reread, is Moby Dick. I don't know. Not for me, Moby Dick at all. I didn't like it at all. Was it a challenge to get through? Not as bad as Les Mis, but Moby Dick was a trial for me. So yeah, I'll link their videos and channels, whatnot, down below to see them talking about those books. But the 5 books I'm going to reread, I might reread them all in May. What month are we in? June and July. I've picked I've cheated a bit, because one of them is not just one book. Two of them are not just one book. I'm just looking at them now. Two of them are not just one book. But I'm going to reread these in June and July. Two of them are fiction and three are non-fiction. What's the best way to go about this? So I'll just start this then. I need to try to find a reflection of this. This is a non-fiction book. It's a science non-fiction book. And this is by Dr. Eric, I'm going to butcher this, Kirschenbaum. So this is the Zoologist's Guide to the Galaxy. What animals on Earth reveal about aliens and ourselves. Now, this is right up my street. My degree, my doctorate was, not doctorate, my degree was in zoology. And this is all about what animal biology can tell us about the rest of the universe, how it may evolve, how it may grow out of nothing. Basically panspermia and astrobiology. Right up my street. Maybe not for everyone, because some of the concepts might go over your head because it doesn't really, fully flesh out the ideas. He just goes in running and starts to explain things. So, but I love this book anyway. It deserves a reread from me. I thoroughly enjoyed it when I first go at it. And it was immensely readable. Again, with the knowledge I already have on biology book. So yeah, that's probably going to be my first reread next month. The Zoologist's Guide to the Galaxy, looking at what we have on Earth, and then maybe trying to use what we know to estimate what's out there. So let's move on to a fiction book, and both fiction books are not just one books. Oh no, what am I doing? So I'm not a big fan of the Booker list at all, because I find a lot of it's quite I'll just say experimental. It's rather style over substance, so a lot of it is just not my cup of tea at all. But these books, and these are famous books, and this is Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. This is a trilogy of books, so Bring Up the Bodies, and then, the biggest one, this is The Mirror and the Light. This is a fantastic trilogy. So this is about Thomas Cromwell, Henry VIII's, assistant, and this whole trilogy is set pretty much, when Henry wants to get a divorce and then wants to marry Anne Boleyn, and then towards the end, it's Anne Boleyn gets executed. The second book, and then the last one is the fall of Thomas Cromwell, and we all know what happened to him. And throughout, because Thomas Cromwell, if you don't know, non-fiction wise, wasn't a good guy, wasn't a nice guy, and Hilary Mantel throughout this trilogy kind of really humanizes him, a little bit, makes him a little bit more likable, even though she still gives him those kind of bastard credentials. But if you've not read the Wolf Hall trilogy, you really need to give it a go. It is a fantastic trilogy. I think when I first read it, because I've only read it once, I think the trilogy gets better with each book. I probably thought this book, it means nothing anyway, like a 6 out of 10. So I was a bit like, it's not as bad as I thought for being a Booker book, but it is what it is. And then 8 and then 10. I think every one is better than the other, but I reckon I give Wolf Hall a bit of a bad start because I had that assumption that it was going to be crap because it was a Booker book. But oh boy, I was wrong. So all three of these books are well worth a read, and I'm going to reread probably all of them over the summer. And now that's done, let's jump to lots of dust on this one. This is The World at the Brink, 1983, by Taylor Downing. This is a great non-fiction history book. This is straight up my street. So this is talking about the history of Able Archer. This is like a NATO military practice at the borders of Russia. And it starts off with Ronald Reagan getting into office and saber rattling the Soviets. And then the Soviets becoming ultra paranoid because of all the saber rattling. And it looks like they're going to try do some sort of, military coup on them. And this, the way he writes this, it reads like it's a timeline ticking down to an utter disaster. Because when they were doing the military exercise, Able Archer, in Eastern Europe, the Soviets really thought that an oncoming attack was going to happen. It's all, it's in 1983. So the world come quite close to a nuclear exchange in 1983. So I wouldn't have been born. A tragedy, I know. But yeah, this is a fantastic, fast-paced book. If you're interested in that kind of the Cold War history, pick up this. It's only a little read for a Cold War book. It reads pretty much like what's that other book? I think it's 1962. Was it 1962? The Cuban Missile Crisis, or was it 19? Get mixed up. 63 is when I always get mixed up with those dates. But yeah, it reads like the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like the world edging towards utter disaster, and he really brings this out in a really, really readable way. It's a good book. So the next one is, again, it's a work of fantasy. This, and it's it's like on the same vein as Tolkien. I mean, I have reread The Lord of the Rings and a lot of Middle Earth stuff. I've reread The Hobbit and The Silmarillion, and I'm even that much of a dork. I've read the history of Middle Earth as well a couple of times. I know, I'm sad. So I've reread The Lord of the Rings multiple times. Around the same time, we also had T.H. White, the Once and Future King. So that's all about, King Arthur, the Sword and the Stone, and Guinevere and Lancelot, and then eventually, the battle at the end as the kingdom turns into civil war, and then Merlin comes back at the end. Oh, I want to read Once and Future King now. But fantastic bit of fantasy. And then you've got Lionessi as well, which is kind of like a fairy folk kind of fantasy, which is a trilogy as well. That's a fantastic series as well. And all these came about in the 1940s and 1950s. And I've read all those three, series multiple times. But I've only read this once. And I don't know why I haven't, because I really, really love this book. This trilogy, I should say. And this is the Gormenghast trilogy by Melvin Peake. This is fantastic. This, I think, probably the only thing what may put me off is the author died before he could finish the final book, and his wife published it after his death. So it's got a bit of a not great ending because it's not finished. But the first and second book, Melvin makes you feel like you're living in this gothic, really close, everybody's going slightly nuts kind of a castle, right? When you're reading this book, you're reading it in black and white. You just this whole environment, it's in black and white. It's like an old horror movie transpiring in a fantasy setting, and it's got one of the most brilliant villains. So I can't remember. I think it's Steelpike or Steerpike. Fantastic! Really conniving, evil person who's trying to get control of the castle, and I don't know why it's took me so long to reread this trilogy. It deserves a reread. It's up there with Tolkien and T.H. White as that kind of not old-timey fantasy, but like grandfather or grandmother of fantasy, whatever you want to call it. The Gormenghast is up there because the prose and the writing style in here is absolutely fantastic. You're not going to get, massive battles and, like you do in modern fantasy. This is purely English literature in a fantasy setting, and boy, does it do its job. It's fantastic, and that's the Gormenghast trilogy. Okay, I have lost the last. Oh, there it is. I just recently read London Falling, which is a kind of like a almost conspiratorial look at someone's death in the city of London. And it's about crime and whatnot. And it's got me like, feeling like the crime, kind of true crime reading. And this non-fiction book is very, very well known. This is Helter Skelter. This is by Vincent Bugliosi. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And this is about the crime what Charles Manson did. And then is Vincent Bugliosi is the guy who prosecuted. I think he did prosecute Charles Manson. He can write. Vincent Bugliosi. It is a fantastic read from start to finish. It really is interesting. Even when they're in court, there's a lot of people who are outside the court who are pro Charles Manson, and what happens to the defense attorney and all that. Oh, it's such an interesting read on a really vicious person and how cults develop over in America. You should read Helter Skelter. This is one of these like must-read non-fiction books. This is definitely up there. Helter Skelter, and the 5 books that I am going to. I say 5 books. There was more than 5 books because there was 2 trilogies in there. But yeah, those are the 5 rereads I'm going to be doing in the next few months, and I will speak to you soon. Bye, Booktube.